Hello, hello, and welcome to Ludo History. I'm Adam, as always, and today we're going to be playing more Jotun, Valhalla Edition. Oh, need to click that button first. We played the first part of this a while ago, on one of our Saturday streams, but we're going to keep going with it this time. And hey, Velith, as always, no lurking, it's more fun for everyone in chat if we're all talking at the same time. Can have a nice, happy conversation from that. Anyway, before we get started, I want to thank everyone who's followed in the last couple of days, because there's been quite a few people. So, sound's gonna cut out for a moment. Anyway, let's see, actually, needs to cut out more there, sorry. Anyway, so, Manasarama, Commodore Aubrey, Jamastaff, Cyboozled, Raxax69, Crazy Sweet 89, Vinrictus, Flowery Space Karate, and Earthadar63. Thank you all so much for the follows. And now we can get in. And I hope the cursor should be out of the way. Let's continue. So, we are in Ginnung Gap. Our very mysterious starting place that may or may not be space. Certainly within the Norse creation story, Ginnunga Gap is some kind of void, but we don't actually know what the word Ginnunga means. So it's just space. We're in space. Let's see. Last time we took on quite a few people. We took on one Jotun here with Jörð. We took on another Jotun here. Oh, I don't remember her name. But she used a shield and was quite scary. We died a lot. And then we took on this Jotun, who is the smith, who forged some kind of fancy sword that'll be used at Ragnarok. And then he committed Sudoku when we killed him. And he took a very, very, very long time to die. Whoops. Anywho. And see, we have found a whole lot of stuff. Except one thing in this level. But, these different levels each represent various parts of the Nine Worlds. So, we had, I don't actually remember what this one was. I think this was supposed to be Midgard. And then we had Nidavellir here. I don't remember what this one is. I don't remember what this one is, actually, with the roots of Yggdrasil. Was that just called Fergelmir? That may have just been Fergelmir. This was just the crater, with a whole bunch of nonsense. And then this one is Niflheim. So let's see what this one is, as we're going off for our next, presumably ice-powered, Jotun. Yep, the bot is working just brilliantly. Me6 on our Discord is not the most reliable person in the world. And by person I mean robot. And it decided to not inform us that we were going live. Oh, we are still in Niflheim. Jörmungander's Lake.
Jörmungandur, sonur Loka og bani Þórs.
Yo. Was that it? Just telling that brief blurb. Okay. Well, then to say a little bit, that's not a snake. To say a little bit more about Jörmungander then. The serpent is just as commonly known as Midgardsormur as much as Jörmungander, which means literally the Midgard snake, or dragon or worm, however you feel like translating that. But it is one of the three offspring of Loki with the giant Angerboda, whose children are, all in all, very bad news. The gods actually end up having to banish the three children because, in some form or another, because they're all bad news in some way or another. Fenrir is bad news because he's prophesied to, kill Odin, which is generally not good. Meanwhile, Hel is hideous to look at and gets a whole bunch of handmaids mysteriously that are such fun things as famine and death and sickness and other such bad news. And so she gets cast into Niflheim here, actually, by Odin, where she establishes her hall. Oh no, oh no, oh no. No thank you, no thank you, no thank you, don't want, bye. And Jormungandr is said that if he will get big enough, he'll consume the whole world, so they throw him into the ocean where he can't do any harm. Oh, come on. Less than 10 minutes to get a bot. Bye bye bot. Hang on. Go away. So, this is terrible. And I have no idea what anything is, or how big this map is. What's going on here? Oh god, oh god. The fact that they're putting Jormungandr into the form of a snake. Okay, so this must be where the rune is. Nope, nope, nope. There's one early modern story from Sweden that is super interesting, with this being a lake instead of the entire ocean of the world, which is what we should actually be thinking of here.
9 ár hvergelmis.
Oh look.
Eitrað vatn þeirra gaf af sér ími og hrimþursanna.
That should be correct-ish. Ferkelmir is, if I remember right, the spring that... No, that is... No, that's a different one. Sorry, there's a different spring that emerges, once... Oh, so that's only that. Okay, this is a huge map. This is a ridiculously huge map. Okay. Ferkel... Kosek. Snorri Sturluson in the Prose Edda explicitly says that that Jormungandr consumes his own tail, despite that being totally illogical with some of the other myths around the serpent. So, calling it an Ouroboros is not right, because that's fundamentally a Greek oh no. It's fundamentally a Greek concept. Huh. I just found the room for fun. But the Ouroboros is also originally...
Hrím jötunsins sem liggur í dvala skorpu jarðar. Haltu áfram að kanna svæðið eða snúðu aftur í ginnungagap.
Okay, I don't know what this is. What is this? Are they gonna say what this is? This looks like it's just a basalt column. It's a very pretty picture though. Good screensaver. Or wallpaper, or something. Do enjoy. Anyway, making, while the Ouroboros is specifically a Greek concept, Jormungandr is consuming his own tail, so technically does fit the definition. So, yeah. Anyway. The folktale is... I'm trying to remember it, but in rough, it's from early modern Sweden, around a specific lake, where there is a serpent in the lake that is terrorizing the whole village. And there's this wandering magician, essentially, a male practitioner of magic, which is usually not a good sign for anyone involved. But in this case it works out because he's a friendly, cool dude who goes like, yeah, I'll solve the problem. And so essentially what he does is he throws the throws a stone into the lake and then carves a runestone with the image of the snake in question on it, and basically says as long as the stone in the lake and this runestone both survive, the snake will not be able to come out. It's most likely the case that the runestone in question... Oh, that's Thor. Hello, Thor. It's most likely the case that the runestone in question is actually a medieval runestone that depicts Jotun. Either that or Falfnir. Those are kind of the only two acceptable options. And that the story is essentially serving to explain that with some kind of reference to a water serpent, but they've forgotten to some extent what it means, and reading runes is hard, so they reinterpret that under a new folktale. Well, that's...
Mér hlotnast styrkur mjölnis. Heill sé þér Þór, og frunuveðurs og hugrekkis.
Well then, we just got Thor's power. So we have a whole bunch of god powers. We have Freyja's, or sorry, Frigg's, Heimdall's, Loki's, Odin's, Thor's, and Freyja's. Freyja's makes us run fast. And Thor's apparently just gives us lightning powers the whole time. That's cool. Okay, for a short time. I did get the big smash. What I do not see in this map, though, is the, anything what resembles, a Mimir's well, a Mimir's Bruni, or a Apple of Idun. Oh hey, the bot finally did the thing? The bot finally did the thing. I'm proud of you, bot. Anyway, oh, here is Mimir's Bruni. I knew it had to be somewhere. Big open space like this, every level has one. But I'm still notably absent on the whole Apple of Idun thing. Unfortunately, I'm not really sure where it is apart from somewhere in this lake. Anyway, it should be somewhat self-explanatory why Thor would, a shrine to Thor, essentially, would be found in, where does this go? What is here? Anyway, why a shrine to Thor, or the statue of Thor, would be found in, in a lake with Jotun in it. That's not really a surprising turn of events for anyone involved, because, yeah, Thor and Midgardsormr are very, very much enemies, and in fact that's one of the very oldest things we have. The tale of Thor fishing up the Midgard serpent before Ragnarok, he fishes up once and maybe possibly kills it, and then it comes back, but he may have killed it. That is found from a 12th century poem, and in the Prose Edda, but it's also found on runestones from the 10th century, so we know this rivalry is extremely old. And, if you accept the comparative mythologists, which I don't... Was there a Kosek? We'll go back and find out later. If this ends up being hard, I will go back and I will try and get more health, because health is important. Anyway,
Ís, rún frosts, kyrðar og krafts.
So, the, the fight between those two, if you accept the comparative mythologists, is pretty much like the definitive example of the Chaos Kampf, where a hero, often representing virility and thunder, fights against a serpent, often aquatic, reflecting chaos. I don't super accept this. I think the Chaos Kampf is by and large not a super useful framework for anything. But Thor is one of the foundational examples of it, kind of where the whole theory gets going for. So, as far as it goes, it's a good example of it. Oh, boy. Knock knock? This is not a good idea, by the way. It's not obvious. He's a tall boy. And he's got a lot of defense. Hey, what do you do? You're just punching. He's standing still. Oh crap, the ice is gonna break if he does this one more time. And he just whacked me for all of my HP. Holy cow. Probably worthwhile. We'll use this. I can use the speed. And we'll run the floor again. Go really backward. Should have switched to him down faster there. I can't see shit. I cannot see what's happening. I cannot move. Okay, there's big, strong prevailing winds that take me in one direction. Okay. Well then. Ah, damn it. You moved. Wow, so this fight is actually not so rough, though we'll see how poorly that goes, saying that goes for me. Oh gosh, Freya's power is not good when I have issues of speed. Chunky Boy is turning out to be kind of a pushover, to be honest. I'm just gonna swap. Though I am not low. Oh, crap. Yeah. There we go. That should be a kill, basically. Especially with trouble coming in. Yeah! Got him. Hey look! It's like an old fancy victory pose with your sword up in the air. Does he go smush? Do I need to go smush on him first? I feel like I need to go smush. Well, we just did a horrible murder. Hope everyone's proud of us. And we used all of our god abilities to actually good effect for a change. Almost.
Áunnið þér hilli
Almost.
goðanna.
Anyway, let's go back. Let's check out that lake quick, because we are making good progress. We've actually only got 2 areas left, or actually 1 area left to go.
Að þeim örlaríka bardaga loknum tók ég við réttmætu hlutverki mínu í stað föður míns. Ásamt áhöfn minni sigldi ég höfin og við héldum áfram að færa ættbálki okkar velmegun. Lífið gekk sinn vanagang þar til rán, gyðja sjávarins, leysti ógnarkraft sinn úr viðjum gegn okkur. Sökti skipi okkar og myrti okkur öll. Ég sá alltaf fyrir mér að ég myndi láta lífið í bardaga. Verði síðan boðin velkomin til Valhallar af valkyrjum Óðins. Í dauða mínum hefur mér verið gefið annað tækifæri. Í ginnungagapi hef ég sigrað játnana. Ég mun yfirbuga síðasta óvinnin og sanna mig enn og aftur. Ég heiti Þóra og ég mun ekki missa móðinn frammi fyrir tröllvöxnum óvinnum mínum. Ég mun endurheimta heiður minn. Ég mun ávinna mér hilli goðanna.
Yes, indeed. So we have now heard the whole plot.
Jörmungandur, sonur Loka og bani Þórs.
Right, yeah. Anyway, this is what I was looking for. So, our plot basically is our hero, Thora, was brought up as a shield maiden, although notably lacking a shield. Instead uses this humorously large double-bit axe. And then, despite being the younger child, was named chieftain by her father, for which her older brother committed a patricide. Did in fact murder him. She took revenge for that killing by killing her brother, and then took control of the whole thing of her clan, of her village, and her clan, and then drowned. Whoops. Murder is suboptimal, but in this particular case it appears to have been efficient. Exactly. Or something like that. But when I use Shield Maiden, of course I'm referring to a very specific trope of the kind of warrior raider who participates in the sort of full-throated nature of the Viking imagined world. Vikings as raiders, Vikings doing all of this stuff.
Hversu stór fuglinn sem situr í krónu Yggdrasils?
It's a good question, Thora. We'll get to that answer in a little bit. Anyway. So, the Shield Maiden type, alongside its related kind of concept of the Maiden King, is basically women conceived of in the Norse sagas as women encroaching into male kind of existences, male social spheres, which is not really said to be a good thing. It's definitely a thing, but it's not a
Krónu
good
Yggdrasils
one.
situr á nafnlausi örninn.
This is true.
Milli augna hans situr haukurinn veðurfölnir.
I'm not sure I like how that eagle is looking at me. But yes, we are in Yggdrasil, the giant, presumably ash tree that sits on top of the world. Or that is the world, I should say. Kind of the whole... Its roots lead to Ausgarður, Midgarður, and Jotunheimum. So, in some meaningful sense, we could say, like, it is the embodiment of the world and its support, and it is the thing that will survive even Ragnarok, though only barely. But yes, the thing Thora said is perfectly true. There is an eagle who sits on top of Yggdrasil, according to the Prose Edda, and it has no name. But on top of the eagle sits the hawk, and the hawk is named Veðurfólnir, and it can see everything, and it whispers tidings to the eagle. We also might have, somewhere, the squirrel Ratatoskr, which really is just a fancy way of saying his name is Squirrel. His name probably means, kind of drill tusk, which is referring to, you know, rodent teeth constantly growing, presumably. And therefore is just... Bird. I knew I didn't like how that bird was looking at us. Rude. Anyway. Ratatoskr mostly just kind of exists. He's supposed to run up and trade insults between the eagle and the dragon Nidhögr. So that way, they both get... Hey!
Eftir eskitrénu endilöng ber Ratatoskr orð Veðurfólnis niður til ormsins Nidhöggs.
Exactly, doing that. But he converts everything into insults, and so Nidhögr gets really mad at Veðurfólnir, and Veðurfólnir and the eagle get very mad at Nidhögr, and they both proceed to tear at Yggdrasil, and are one of about like 7 animals that are slowly destroying this tree. There's also a couple of deer that feed on it, and a I must be able to get down there somehow, because I clearly can't cross the mushrooms. The mushrooms are too strong. But yeah, he's kind of annoying. That's basically his whole job, is to just be maximally annoying. And yeah, there's a couple of deer, and a goat, and a cow, that are all kind of feeding on Yggdrasil, in addition to these guys. And so the whole tree is kind of failing on at least one side. Cause, yeah. It's not in good condition on account of all of the bad things. This eagle is spooking me just as much as Jotun did. I feel like I missed something. I feel like I missed something big. No, I haven't gotten high enough yet. Okay. I know where I am on the map. Anyway, we're not, like, really sure why the heck Ratatoskr is a thing that's supposed to exist. Or a being that's supposed to exist. He just kinda does. And so, he's been interpreted just as simply as Snorri doing a world building. Which is not exactly the most complicated explanation the world has ever seen. There's certainly an explanation. Where does this leave us? Are we heading around to Radatoskr's den? I think we're heading around to Radatoskr's den. Sure are. Then again, this might actually be the way we're supposed to go. This might just go up. Yeah, it just leads inside the tree. Oh no, okay, there's an apple of Ithil here. Nice. Exploration. I don't know what the tree is doing growing inside the tree, but you know, there is a tree growing inside the tree. I'm really liking the aesthetic of this level, by the way. It's such a nice change of pace from kind of the dreary swamps, or steampunk industrial crater, or all the ice here. This is a whole lot of color, and really, like, something Thunder Lotus really nails the development team for this game is just how to do color. Because they also made Spiritfarer, which is a rad game that everyone should get, because it is so sweet and so calming. But they really kind of understand how to work with color to such a fine degree. Gee, I wonder if that's not a suspicious looking. Yeah, that. But yeah, Spiritfarer's day-night cycle is just so perfect. And all of it's quite... Thank you. Was that strictly necessary, Eagle? Like, you could have just not. I suppose I should, like, use god powers to avoid getting hurt. But... I could also just kind of take the hit. Wow, this is a lot of directions to go. What do? I should backtrack, because it looks like I've overshot what I need to get to for the thingy, the god power. Okay, so it hits for 1 Freya worth of damage. Well, good thing we've got multiple Freyas, and huh. That's just the eagle's nest. With more eagles in it. Gee, I wonder if that won't backfire eventually. Oh boy. Who's excited? And why is it not me? No, that's not true. Just more eagles would be bad news for us in the immediate term. Oh, I can't actually go this way. I see. So I can't actually go that way, up there. Can't go from this one up. Can't go from here up. So that way leads to the god power. That goes nowhere. So it turns out I was secretly going the right way first, and I just have such a good innate sense of direction that I didn't have So I'm on those two. These two look like they kind of go to the same spot. But up in the eagle's nest seems like a good idea. It doesn't actually seem like a good idea, but we'll pretend it's a good idea. No? I can't actually do anything here? Ow. Rude. I mean, I suppose it's pretty understandable that it is not a huge fan of us kind of just running around right around this nest, causing problems for everyone. But that's it. But we are totally out of god powers, so hopefully the eagle doesn't have too much more up its sleeve. I suppose we could use Freya to run away on the next one. Yeah, that works. Okay, we can dodge 3 more. Or 2 more. And then we can eat two more after that. Anywho, how's everyone doing tonight? Ow. I didn't dodge that one very well. Looks like it's our way up to the finish. Yeah, totally is. Well, we're gonna get a recharge on our god powers here in a moment, as soon as we make it down here. I should also get healed, which is probably important, because I have exactly one hit point left. And look at that. Look who it gives us. It gives us another Frigg.
Mér hlotnast heilun goðanna. Heilsi þér Frigg, drottning Ásgars, gyðja fæðingar og visku.
Her being a goddess of wisdom is pretty reasonable. I don't super love how this game describes the gods as being gods of stuff, because that's just not a thing. But also not the end of the world, by any metric. So, the gods in Norse mythology are gods who, like, do stuff, and you'll pray to them in certain circumstances, absolutely. But they're mostly gods who do stuff, as opposed to being purely gods who are things, or a god of something. So, like, Adam Raymond says that they pray to Odin for success in battle, and they pray to Thor for a good harvest. But that doesn't really correlate doesn't really correlate to them being a harvest god, a god of the harvest, or a god of something else. Huh. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a kind of quiet depiction of Freya. I don't know of any of Frigg. I don't know of a whole lot of associations of Frigg with childbirth, but ooh. Shiny.
Ríki sólar og mána. Vörpum örlitlu ljósi á þennan stað.
We are making constellations. So, I didn't realize I would need to remember my astronomy today, but, Cassiopeia is apparently Ratatoskr. I actually don't know if these are, genuine, or that these are, actually supposed to be historical, kind of recognized star patterns. It is entirely possible that they are. Gisli Sigurðsson has argued about kind of mythological figures in the cosmology being portrayed by Snorri in the Prose Edda being related to the Zodiac. But yes. Leander, yes, that's a really good way of phrasing it. They are the gods who are most likely to end up being useful to you for this. So Thor is simultaneously a protector against storms at sea. He is a god with kind of earthquake associations, but then also you pray to him for a good harvest. Anyway, we are apparently trying to make 4 constellations here, presumably of a couple of different deer, a something, and a something else. So, I wonder if it shows us the star we're looking at anywhere. It does. Wow. A whole lot of things. Okay. A whole lot of things up here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I noticed that we're connecting them with electricity, which feels like we are carrying an awfully big slab of metal for the arcing lightning that is coming around here, helping us. But that's okay. That looks about right, though. Who does that say that is?
Dvalinn.
Dvalinn.
Næstmesti
Okay.
hjörturinn með horn sem borin af 7 stjörnum.
We might see some wolf boys. There's a non-zero chance. Ow. I mean, I just said it was electricity and that it probably would hurt, but I didn't think it would actually hurt. So, that's on me. Anyway, meanwhile, as I said, I don't remember super clearly, can I actually cross that with some divine smarts? Ow. Well, looks like no, I cannot. Fine. I guess that's okay. So yeah, I don't know if these are historical, or actually Norse constellation names, or constellation patterns. They might be. They, Nay. Turn off, thank you. I also, I'm kind of thinking no, they aren't, but treating a bunch of the random cosmological figures that appear on Yggdrasil as being historical in some way, or as being in the stars in some way is totally fine. I'm not offended by that. What I am also seeing here is the Northern Lights being used to connect to these kind of celestial area. So these are something that have a whole lot of cultural kind of oomph in the Viking Age. I think oomph is sorry, let me rephrase that. In imaginations of the Viking Age. Without necessarily actually having a lot of oomph. Because the Northern Lights are about this super weird thing that just doesn't show up in any of the sagas. They aren't described in the mythology, they don't show up in the sagas. There's just kinda nothing. There's kinda sorta absolutely nothing about them, and so despite them being part of this imagination of Scandinavia, in the Norse period they just aren't there. However, that doesn't mean that there isn't any discussion of it in the Middle Ages generally, because in the King's Mirror, a text from about 1250, they actually do talk about the Northern Lights as this uniquely Greenlandic thing, despite, it not being that by any measure. And they kind of think about, well, what are these? Is it the sun's light reflecting from below the surface of the Earth? No. And the answer they eventually kind of settle on is that it is vapors coming off the glacier that are glowing. Which is, I think, a really cool kind of way of having no way to understand solar radiation, and kind of the whole way the process works is and does. Like, it's a really cool kind of way to think about it and to question, well, what is this? In this particular context, I seem to be reading it as pretty much just Bifrost but green. Instead of being primarily red, the glow thing is primarily green. Still need to be careful about that. Yeah, that's a lot of lightning, so I'll need to be somewhat careful. Also, did I just lock myself out of... Can I not run around this? Damn it. That's a big old lightning strike. So yeah. Obviously that text is pretty... Obviously that text is pretty Christian. So... So, I guess the conclusion there is somewhat restricted utility, not... Well, this isn't right at all. Let's try that again. There we go. Should be this one. And then this one.
Durafró, stærsti hjörtur, með horn sem borin af 8 stjörnum.
Yo, I'm noticing a tiny problem though. You let me through. Okay? Okay. So, we have now formed a constellation. Yeah, it's essentially, it's the significance of the Northern Lights for our imagined Scandinavia starts showing up in probably the 17th century, is what we can really say that it kind of takes off. Because the idea there is, well, basically, people find Northern Lights really kind of compelling and fascinating if you don't live somewhere where they are ubiquitous, where you see them with moderate regularity. But you know, suddenly they have a lot more oomph to them. So, once primarily English tourists started really kind of going in and visiting Iceland a lot, it is a lot. That has not changed since the, like, 17th century? Maybe a little bit, but fundamentally, like, the idea of going out and touring and going and standing on a glacier is not a new one. So, with... Yay. So as these people are kind of constantly visiting Iceland and going back there over and writing travel accounts in 1700s, 1800s, 1900s, the Northern Lights get seen as this really compelling thing that you go to Iceland to go see. Just like you go to Iceland to go walk on a glacier, or to go whale watching, or you go to see the Northern Lights. We still do. And so that gets imagined back as well. It was important back then, or it is important now. It must have still been important back then, even though it wasn't. Okay. So, they said here that Skut and Hauti are Fenrir's children. One of them chasing the sun, the other one chasing the moon endlessly. This is half correct. Hauti's full name is Hauti Hroðvitnisson, which does mean Hauti, the son of the famous beast, which the famous wolf is clearly Fenrir. Skut, however, is not clear. Parentage is never said, and so some scholars have interpreted Skut as being himself Fenrir. That Skutl is just another name.
Báðar rúnir hagls, storm Jötunsins sem ræður yfir skýjunum. Haltu áfram að kanna svæðið eða snúðu aftur í ginnungagap.
Við skulum að snúa til ginnungagaps. Okay, we've got one more Jotun to do. But yeah, Northern Lights, turns out they're pretty cool. Highly do recommend, like, while they are not a particularly, like, medieval fascination, they are still really dang cool, and I do highly recommend, if you get a chance to go somewhere where they are, you do it, and you go try and see them, because they're really dang cool. Why would you ever see, like, be impressed by normal sunsets when you have your lovely 10 a.m. sunrise, where you can wake up at a decent hour to go watch, and then you can, at like 2:30 in the afternoon, you can go and watch the sunset, and it will stay this beautiful, beautiful shades of purple, of like orange and red and purple, all the way down into nothingness, around time for dinner, to go get dinner and to drink. Why would you ever be impressed by a normal sunset after having all day long golden hour? The world just ain't the same afterwards. Anyway, we appear to be in space.
Hagl. Rún hagljels, erfiðleika og glundroða.
Yeah, the rune does literally just mean hail. That is the name. Even contemporary sources, give for it. This is the hail rune. Just like the last rune, Is, is just ice. But oh boy, Sir? Sir? You appear to be missing a middle. That's probably not helping. Sir? Sir? You have no middle. Oh no. Oh no. This isn't good. I assume I can, if I happen to be close to it, I will be able to do stuff. And like, you know, bonk. Nay? No bonks allowed? That's not good. This is gonna get chaotic. Holy cow. Uh-oh. Not good, not good. Maybe not good. Okay, nice. Ma'am? Ma'am, you can't just... Hangout room, good. Hello? Oh, that one by me again? Totally out of shield, so that's not good. Okay, this has just got maximum pickup. Can I actually get you? Is that acceptable? That is acceptable. Nice. I love when grabbing two of them just means you hit like twice as hard. Okay, that being said, I may as well do some changes. Sorry, let's use one Neo again. That looks good. Cool, and now we can use Neo again. And then bomb. You still seem to be in several pieces.
Þú hefur áunnið þér hitt hilli goðan.
So that went well. I think I just beat the last one. That one, I was not expecting to be that good at the game. Because, God, if you guys remember the last stream, I was not good at the game. So, huh. Ooh, interesting. The map for this area is entirely, just the Wagner. Kind of just the thing it says, which is a symbol that, is found related to depictions, usually interpreted as Odin, on Iron Age runestones. It's not really a Viking Age symbol, it's a little bit before then, but it is associated with kind of a Wodenas or Woden or Odin or somebody figure, and is therefore potentially related to a sacrificial context. Anyway, I assume the horse statues are probably related to Sleipnir. And then, you know, we have our set of statues of all the backers of the game. Or yeah, I think it's. I don't know if it's backers or the dev team. It's one of the two. Apparently, not all of them wanted their faces in the game. It must be Kickstarter backers of a certain amount. Yeah. But super cool. Shoutouts to Horned Helmets. I know they wanted it, they must have wanted it, and therefore we won't. Yeah, okay, definitely Kickstarter backers. Ordinary people do not have the name Metal Shadow Overlord. As awesome as it is, but yeah, I mean, these guys are getting portrayed as Vikings with very Viking-y things and stuff. And we have the hall here with our typical interlace design. And then here, Munin. As they run away, let's go take a look at what's up here. We seem to have beaten the game. Hey look, remember these guys? If you're paying attention on the first, or yeah, mostly just the first Assassin's Creed Valhalla stream, you should recognize these guys. These are dragon heads most commonly found on stave churches. Stavkirker. Which with this shingle design tells us that once again, we appear to have Christianized without paying attention. Whoops. It happens. So with our brand new Christian context, Odin still exists, he's just much less friendly of a figure. He suddenly has turned into a, you know, malicious spirit, kind of devilly, demonic, something. But, clearly, you know, diamond scale-like shingles and this particular style of dragon head tells us we've got to be in the 12th century. So, we roll with it. We roll with it. Also, you know, totally legitimate that we'd still be out raiding in the 12th century. We just would have been out raiding in the Baltic instead of in England. So, you know, our story still works. Our brother getting jealous, our brother, and then us sacrificing him. Potentially us even sacrificing him to Odin. Though, that works a little bit less well. All of it still kind of functions. Anyway, hello. Nope, 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 I know.
Dauði þinn var smánarlegur.
Yeah, I know.
En hugrekki þitt og þrautsegla hafa leitt þig langan veg. Í þessu gapandi tómi hefur þú ferðast öll ríkin. Fundið rúnirnar, sigrað jötnana. Það var ég, Óðinn, sem gaf þér annað tækifæri þar blóð Þórs flæðir æðar þínar.
Hang on. What?
Láttu þessa miklu gjöf aðstoða þig í loka bardaga þínum, þar sem ég, alfaðirinn, mun vera loka óvinur þinn.
Oh no!
Búðu þig undir bardaga, Þóra.
Anyway, this depiction of...
að ávinna þér hilli goðana.
I'm gonna try and talkify at the same time, which is, you know, as we all know, a terrible mistake. Because it just is. Ow. So this depiction of Ovid is very, very clearly, a sort of... Are you just gonna follow me around? Can I get it to hit you? Damn it. We are going to lose this fight, don't worry. Not a big deal. I need to talk at the same time. This fiction of Odin looks an awful lot like Wagner. Had a little bit too much say in it. Sorry, we're gonna get your wife to help us, because, oh boy, we need it. Ow. Wow, he just owned me. That would have been a great time to use anything else. So anyway, we have this winged helmet with super shoulder pads. Both of those are straight out of Wagner's kind of character art and design for it. Shit. That is my solution. And, you know, also being mostly naked, just forgetting, like, what shirts are, is also totally legit as a... Well, that went poorly. Totally legitimate as a sort of Wagnerian design. Cause, yeah. Wagner had a thing for kind of just forgetting. We'll see if that does anything. I don't think it will, but, you know, we might get lucky. Hey, it will! Because spears will target it. Nice. Ow. I died.
Þér hefur mistekist
Yeah.
ávinna þér hilli goðanna.
That's a good question. Let's finish talking about Wagner, and this particularly Wagnerian Oven. Both actually, this blue cloak with a gray hood is Wagner, his disguise form, and then this King of the Gods is actually Wagner. Also, actually, he's not mostly naked. It's this. He's actually got the breastplate here, which is extremely Wagner. And so, like, that's totally a, like, culturally really recognizable point to draw on. So this is gonna be a problem. The more Gungnir's I dodge, the bigger problem we're gonna have. Ow. The bigger problem we're gonna have. Anyway, also the wearing a fur belt with this big buckle, like, all of it. You're right that it's Marvel, but it's Wagner before it's Marvel. The only thing that's not particularly Marvel, or not particularly Wagner, is this form of Gungnir. This form of Gungnir looks kind of vaguely, I don't know. Heal. Block there. That lets us block too. We'll throw that, and then we'll get ready to block again. Hopefully we can dodge some of it. Nope. Get a block too, at least. Damn it. He's owning me. And he hits me for an entire one of these. Ow. Okay, we use Loki as our shield. Damn it. It's a good idea. Oh crap. He's using the Wagner. Run! Run away! Oh, you gotta be kidding me. All of this and having to dodge? Oh then. You're a horrible meanie. And I died. The music is pretty great. Not gonna lie, this music it absolutely slaps. So problem. I wonder if Thor is just a damage buff across the board. I wonder, that's worth checking. Because if he's a damage buff all the way across the board, we can just kind of spam Thor. And just, I don't know, use one of it in the first phase. And then... Nope, he's not a damage buff across the board. Damn. I was super hopeful. So then we saved it for the... when we've got to take on... or have a moment for our slower attacks. Which is probably when he's summoning the other guys, and then we can use the power to just eat out of there. And then go from there. Okay, that still is only... Still is only one. It read my mind. Damn it. Well, that also didn't work, but, you know, that's fine. It is reading me so hard. I used that too soon. That's not going to help me at all. Let me hit. Yeah. Let me hit. Can I hit one more time? Nice. So I'm doing better. The music absolutely slaps. The setting absolutely slaps. I'm on every level. This is rad. Come on, buddy. What are you doing? Ow. Oh god, did it work? I managed to stay alive. Gotta burn that, because I just didn't have time to do otherwise. And then we'll just like double your spam? Freya. Damn it. That was pretty... I'm happy with that. I wasn't paying attention to his health bar at all, because there's no point in getting greedy. I know my Souls lessons too well in order to risk getting greedy. Anyway, this one is pretty appropriate for, you know, Thor or Odin as our actually only... While we like to... Ow, he just threw it right into my face. While we like to say a lot that Norse mythology has a absolutely massive number of war gods, that's just straight up untrue. It just doesn't. Hey, that still hit. Come on, still hit. Yeah, nice. Fine, we'll do that. Yep, we're suddenly at 3 already. Should do this. Damn it. Oh. We'll heal. We'll heal again. Wow, no, he's owning me. These... Yeah, that is not working so hot. I need to be using the lucky one as our main option here once he throws... Oh. Ball. For... Nate. One more time. Yeah. Dumio again. And well, doing pretty good. Thanks. Yep, this music also does feel super Wagner. This music is, like, this whole aesthetic at this point has gone full kind of Wagnerian opera, which is, I think, not a bad choice. Well, it's fun to rag on Wagner, and Wagner was a garbage human being who deserves to be ragged on. At the same time, he is super embedded into the cultural idea of what, like, the Norse aesthetic is, means, and does. So it is neither surprising nor a bad thing that they would... Oh crap, that's not gonna work. Well, at least I can get some good hits out of it, hopefully. Come on, throw it at me. Throw it at me. I dare you. Oh wow, you're already at that phase. Okay, that's not good. Loki? Huh? So that should be 2 of the 3 at least. Oh good, all together. Good, time that well. And then the goal is to burn through this phase quickly. Okay. Come on, just throw it at me. Actually, that would have been a good time to use Thor. That's okay. Then, we have to there, hit. That's not good. Damage. Not the right one. I missed the shot. I wanted to do the handoff. Still got one handoff, which is good. I could really need that. Also still got one. Oh damn it, I'm poisoned and there's nothing I can do about it. That. Just kill him, just kill him, just kill him, just kill him. Yes! Holy god, we did it. Right on the tail end. We may have also lethally wounded Ovid. We've kind of... Oh good, no, he healed himself. Thank goodness. In full pleasure of, you know, the Einherjar tradition, he just managed to fully heal himself, in time for the next fight. Just training montage for him. Anyway, so this kind of implies, you know, drowning as a dishonorable death, which I think, is more useful to think of less as dishonorable and more that is deeply unpleasant, and so no one liked it because drowning sucks. Because in the Prose Edda we kind of have a 4-part afterlife. So as we're going through here, seeing the Valhalla, which by the way, nice Dave Church, bro. So we see kind of a 4-part afterlife. We see Hell, and Niflhel and Naustrund within that, and we see Valhur, and we see Folkvanger, and we see the halls of Raun, the goddess of the sea. Well, Jotun, who happens to live in the sea, and also is kind of unpleasant to most people. But yeah, this four-part system, as described by Snorri, is completely nonsensical, as it should be. Like, it doesn't feel like a sensible afterlife that real people would believe in. The reason for that is because it isn't. In terms of actual religious practice on the ground, what scant evidence we have actually indicates yet a different conception, wherein there is an entire other world that might be Glaltheim, that might be where Valhalla is, but is never actually given a name. Just spirits that exist in a world parallel to ours. Through certain ritual contexts, performative songs or galdrar, or through performative acts such as looking over a fake door, you can see into the other world. And seeing in the other world is where the dead people actually live. So this whole thing is a very incoherent thing, and because it's incoherent, we really shouldn't take it as reliable of descriptions of honor. There's often this idea of, which is derived from 10th century skaldic poetry, that a dead warrior will travel to Valhalla as one of the slain, and be chosen there and be welcomed there. This is found in, like, Haukunamal and Eiriksmal, and potentially Kraukumal, though that one's more ambiguous. But what that really probably reflects is some kind of 10th century or later Norwegian, or specifically probably Western Norwegian, elite conception of an afterlife. And that is the best we can say. That this is a specific moment doing a specific thing for a specific class of people. And that just happens to be the class of people that most frequently emigrated to Iceland and then continued handing around their old traditions. And so a lot of our idea of Norse mythology, at best, when it does not reflect Christian borrowings, continental French or English borrowings, Sami borrowings, it represents a 10th century Norwegian conception, which is only one of the probably hundreds of local variations of religions that we are seeing. Certainly some stories are cognate between them, some of them remain almost exactly the same. The story of Thor fishing up Jörmungandr in Heimaskvila is a good example of that. But our afterlife in particular is not a good example of that. So our narrative, of our Viking who is dissatisfied at dying in a storm at sea because it is dishonorable rather than deeply unpleasant, probably doesn't reflect historical reality too well. But it does make for a good story, and certainly it gives you enough motivation to want to do this very kind of Wagnerian ring cycle boss rush around with all the Vulcanists. It's pretty great. So, Leander, you asked which one does history or represents Norse culture and stories better between Jotun and Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I think the answer is that they are fundamentally aiming to explore different parts of it. As a communication of this kind of, for lack of a better term, legendary saga ideal. Something that, someone like Sigurður Faufnisbani would believe in. But it's not a historical figure, but he is a legendary saga figure. And trying to mimic the deeds of one of the legendary sagas, or Fornaldarsögur, a saga genre that emerges probably in the 12th century, but tells stories of before the reign of Harald Fairhair in Scandinavia. So, that specific type of story, wherein there are heroes who go off and fight dragons and trolls and break into burial mounds and fight revenants and do all of this cool stuff. this represents the mentality of that kind of story very well, and applying the Wagnerian overlay to that only enhances that, because that's what Wagner is drawing on. Volsunga Saga is probably the definitive Fortnite saga. So, Wagner, when he's creating the ring cycle, Der Ring des Nibelungen, that is what he's drawing on. And so our Wagnerian influences, our music style, our aesthetic, our character designs really fit in on top of this quite well. And then adds on top of it a whole bunch of other layers of kind of pop cultural ideas of what is important in Scandinavia or memorable about Scandinavia. And then takes the prose edda and kind of sprinkles in the levels over the top to make some kind of design there. So it ends up being a really, really cool atmosphere, really, really cool everything, to be honest. And ends up, for being a small game, we're only fighting, there's only 5 bosses in the whole, well, 6 if you count it up. 6 bosses in the whole game. 9 levels. So really a small game, not reflecting nearly all the diversity we're seeing. Doesn't even have all of the quote-unquote 9 worlds, of which they are not named. It is not even clear that there are only 9 of them. Just that the Sierra Voluspa sees 9. Okay, actually Snorri borrows from Voluspa and says that there are 9. But Voluspa itself doesn't actually say that there are only 9, just that there are at least 9. And nowhere ever actually names them, so... The ones we had, Nidavellir, Midgarður, Ásgarður, Muspelheim, Niflheim. And then we had Yggdrasil for no reason, but we can kind of roll that into Ásgarður. That squad misses several options. Utgarður, Alfheim, or Svartalfheim, if you want to take Snorri's word for it. It misses Vanaheim. Vanaheim. Let's see, where else does it miss? It has Nidavellir, it has Ásgarður, it has Midgarður, has Niflheim, it has Muspelheim. There's 5. It doesn't really have... Oh, right, our first world was technically in Jotunheim. So, it's missing Midgarður and Ásgarður. Kind of. But, yeah, Jotunheim. Niflheim, Muspelheim, Nidavellir, and Yggdrasil were the 5 it had. So that leaves Utgarður, that leaves Alfheim, that leaves Svartalfheim, that leaves Midgarður, and that leaves Ásgarður among our kind of options, at least. Hell is not a world. Don't tell me Helheim is one of the 9 worlds, because it ain't. But yeah. Overall, I really enjoy this game. I'll be honest, it's not the most accurate thing, but it is telling a specific kind of saga journey. It's using mythology to enhance that, it's using, Wagner to enhance that, and it knows what it's trying to be, and it looks dang pretty well doing it. And so I can't really be mad about that. And this was Jotun. Shorter stream than I expected. So, that gives us some options. Let's see. We could simply explore what else the game has. We can see what Valhalla mode here is. It looks like it's a boss rush. That's what I'm guessing, is that we're looking at boss rush mode. Oh, with all of our maximum everything. Looks like we missed a lot of apples. So we could either kind of explore the rest of this, or I could bring the stream down for a moment. We could find some trailer of something. There's got to be some kind of new history game coming out, right? If not, I could just be angry about Crimson Desert again. We could do that for half an hour. Or we could, I don't know, take a look at something else? What do you guys want to do? In the meantime, I'm gonna do more fights. Who do I want to fight? Valhalla mode for the moment? Awesome. Let's take on Fia. Property.
Fé, rún ríkidæmis, valds og gulls.
Mostly just property. Let's take on our boss rush. See if in 30 minutes. See if we can't do that. Oh, I probably want to not be here. Ow, rude. You have a lot more health these days. That's not the best news in the world. Ah, crap. Just wasted a heal. Oh no, we don't have abilities to restore power usage in between this. So if I screw up like that, I'm just cooked. More bosses. Oh, you know what'd be great in this fight? Wagner. Actually, Wagner might be kind of shit in this fight. I'm not actually sure. Generally undecided. Ow. It's clear that I'm not exactly doing a good job on staying alive. That should get us some time to kind of bash our way down. And we're at sub 50, so... Didn't do all the rest of it. There it is. Well, can't say we're playing this particularly well, but we are playing this. Ah, damn it, we got another boss. Have to give me just a moment here. Luckily, it should pause, hopefully. If not, I'll just die, and then it's not a big deal, because bots are worse than bosses. Come on, finish banding, please. There we go. Hey, I died. Well, no big deal. Oh, cool, we just gotta go again. This is what we get. This is why bots should stay away from this channel, because if we, if bots keep showing up, then I just keep, you know, getting in trouble. Because they get squished, because I've got to deal with them. Ow. You're rude, my guy. And we're ready to go. Wow, that's or something. Yeah, that's a lot better. Come on, hit. Yeah. One more? One more. Huge. Huge Thor. Look, please. Oh, that's unlucky. Alright, about 50%. Please be at about 50%. I rolled through that. Come on, don't do me like that. And speed. Ow. Not great. Ow, super not great. I should have god powered that. Oh well. Speaking of which, let's god power this since I need time. And shields. Looks like I'm not gonna god power my way through this one very well. Great, none of those hit. What's at least one of those have hit? I'm super dead. Super dead. Only got one god power left, and then I've got a couple of doors, which just aren't useful. Doors just aren't useful. Hey, there's that. Robert. Yes, I'm aware. Thank you. I'm aware I am unimpressive. You do not need to remind me. Okay, so this is a much harder mode. Anyway, Velith. Dragon Age is absolutely not too divorced from history, by the way. Just to be clear, kind of on like what I like to do on this channel. Historical games and fantasy games of all varieties are fine, because guess what time period fantasy most heavily draws on? It's the Middle Ages, just all around, all the time. Hey, and we get to do our best Thor impression by, you know, hunting dwarves. He does this repeatedly in the Mythological Corpus. In Alvismal, it's not really a pun so much as an outplay, but, you know, he still nominally punts. Does something that could vaguely be read as, you know, punting a dwarf, and then, you know, he actually punts a dwarf. Wow, that actually hit me. Unlucky. He actually punts a dwarf into Baldur's funeral pyre. Not what I wanted to do. I wanted to swap to this one instead of using my good crowd control ability for just doing stuff. Oh well. We're gonna have to use him to buy some time. Heal. And then we'll see what comes here next. That's a lot of dwarves. Can you stabilize here? hard out of abilities, so that's not good. I do have one more thing here. Yeah, they all grouped up. Nice. I'm still not gonna win this. There's no way. They hit too much in the early phase. It doesn't matter how many things I need to protect from. The heals just don't hold long enough. I'm not getting time to go forth and actually accomplish much here. Because let's be honest, Thor's is just not very useful. So here we go, dead again. Dead again, off we go. So be it. Uh-huh. Indeed. That would be a time. Anyway, let's maybe back out. Instead of continuing to bang our head against that one. Which is, you know, one of the three we didn't see on this stream. I guess I'll show off the other two here quickly. Just a couple of times, since we have the time. This was the most outright fantasy one, to be honest. Like, Kainen. Also ulcers, which is probably encapsulated in that pain, and maybe the mortality part. He also is just kind of, well, scary-ass guy. Like, this guy wrecked me, and he's got a lot more health. He got a lot of health. I don't know how good I am. Oh god, no, that's a terrible spot to put him. Oh no. Not gonna be able to actually do anything about that. Why did you have to get, like, dropped way out of the corner like this? Ah, damn it, he hard, absolutely hard red. See, he did it again. Rude. He did this every time last stream. Yes, I know I did. You don't have to rub it in my face. Just let me try again. I'll do better this time. I promise. Or I won't. One of the two. You know, those are the only two options. Nope, not close enough yet. There we go. And just run in. Ah, damn it. I can't afford to do that. Should just wail on him 3 times, call it a day. And back up. Hopefully he'll jump at me. Instead of doing that, I'll just let him do his thing. He has a crazy beard, crazy dude. Can I get 1 swing? Yeah, I can even get 2 swings. Look at that. Luckily, these hitboxes seem to be halfway based on just kind of what's around. Ooh, perfect. Perfection. I wanted to get one. Okay, you can do what you want, my guy. I guess I'll throw a gun at you. Did the gun not hit? That's a lot of bad news. Well, that went about as well as I could have hoped. Let's maybe, at least we have not gotten touched yet. Which, you know, he's saying that it's not gonna get me in trouble, but... Yeah, like that. Oh! Okay. This is what we do. So you've seen both phases of him now. We have decided he is rude. And we're just gonna get the heck out of town, you know? The decision has been made. He is rude. Yeah. So, our last one here is, you know, the first boss we fought in Jotunheim.
Jörð, rún uppskeru, frjósemi og jarðar.
Oh gosh, there's poison all around anyway? What is the point of this? I guess they need to make it harder, but like, come on. That just means I can't stay in one spot for any length of time. I don't think that makes the fight more fun, it just means I can't do anything. I'll have to keep running over here while stuff is happening. Oh, that was just half my health. Well, that was awkward. Okay, I hit her once. Be proud of me. And now I need to run away again because you're gonna spew nonsense. Okay, you're done spewing nonsense, let's go again. Now we run away again because you're gonna start spewing nonsense. And now we go again. Can I repeat ad infinitum? It's at least reliable. Damn it. I have to heal up off that. And I'm not going to be able to take advantage of that at all because this. Well, we could just throw Gunner at it. That seems reliable. That was not reliable. That didn't hit anywhere near where I wanted it to. Yeah, that was my thought. If it is actually somehow related to Thor in more than just a name sense, then we got kind of an issue going on. Not more of them. Don't want more of them. I'm gonna need to take more advantage of our god powers here. Specifically like this one. Is gonna be really, really helpful. If I can ever get a stun off, this one will be good. I don't know if I'll ever manage to get a stun off. Whatever, let's do it, Damn it. Not cool, dude. Yes, I know you're gonna do that. I can stand right here, though. But yes, I did have that thought, too. Dang it. Come on, just do the thing. Do something. There we go. And I've not even hit the 50% mark, so I've got to get back around the center here. Because that's the only spot I'm having room or time to do anything with. So, I'm going to try and get up here. Yeah. Perfect. God damn it. Not what I wanted to do. Good enough. We're making progress. I still got a Thor strike. Which gives us some grounds to work on. But this is a lot of things. Damn it. And of course you did that instead of anything useful. Well, I might be able to beat this one at least. That actually stands a shot. But not if you keep doing this. Because this is bad. So I gotta clear out this whole area. As quick as possible. Oh no, I'm super dead. I could have heimdalled that. That's on me. That was dumb. And I'm dead, yeah. Bye. Well, close enough. No one said I was good at video games, just I enjoyed them. So yeah, that's enough of that, I think. We tried. We made an attempt. And we decided our best wasn't all that good, and we left. So that was also Valhalla mode, our much harder boss rush. I guess for people who really like this game, there's a harder version. Because of course there is. So, a little bit of a short stream tonight, but that's okay. I hope you all enjoyed it. On Saturday, we'll of course be back with more Assassin's Creed. That seems to be the thing that people most often come here to see, which is totally fine. That's kind of why I'm playing it. It is new, it is shiny. And there's a whole lot of history going on in that, and a whole lot of weird. I won't call it history, just weird. Saturday we should be doing Ledasestra, which means I'm going to be talking a lot about the Wagner sons, about Ivar the Boneless, and about Ubba, and perhaps a little bit about the brothers who do not appear in this film. We'll kind of talk about, we'll save Halfdanner for someone else, but I don't know, Oliver Infiti is probably on the table, Sigurður Ormurjoya definitely is, Rögnvald, who's dead, is, Fidzaker is, etc. So you know the drill, 11 AM Central Time, right here on this channel. If you also like this, make sure you click on the links in the About section. There's one to my YouTube channel where the VOD will be uploaded. And coming soon, we'll start having new YouTube-specific content. I'm hoping to do that right away at the start of next year. And kind of keep going with that regularly all throughout, as much as I can. Try and do at least once a month. Put out something unique to YouTube, so make sure you subscribe there. Also, there's a link to my Discord server, where if you want to talk to me outside of stream times, or just hang out with some other cool people, you are very much welcome to. Also, schedules will get posted there. And last up, there's a link to my Twitter, where you can follow me to be notified when things are happening, and occasionally see me do other stuff there. Meanwhile, this has been Jotun, and this is Ludo History. And I will catch you all on Saturday with more Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Oh, and by the way, also, YouTube, if you make it to the end of this and you're watching this, please recommend games for me to play on next week for Christmas, because I do not know what game to play next week for the holidays, and I need suggestions. Because it'll be the 23rd is 1 week from now, so, you know, want to do something at least vaguely Christmas themed beyond AC Valhalla's Yule event. But yeah, I'll catch you all on Saturday then, and I hope you all have a good evening.